So today we're going to be talking about how to optimize your website for maximum conversion and sales. I am John O'Long. I'm the owner of Social Sphere Media and want to thank you for joining us today. We're going to make sure that we make the most of our time. I don't want to waste your time. And I want to give you some things that you can actually use, that you can actually go and implement on your own, and not having to hire someone and pay a lot of money to do these things. These are things that you could, if you got a little bit of tech savvy or you got somebody in the office, you can handle these yourself. And of course, we're happy to help, but want to just upfront make sure that you know that this is not going to be just some long sales pitch. I watch a lot of webinars and listen to a lot of podcasts, and some of them just feel like it's just a big long sales pitch. And so the other thing is a lot of them go forever. And I don't like watching a 50-minute webinar, listening to an hour-and-a-half podcast. So we're gonna rock and roll and get right into it. If you have any questions along the way, make sure you drop those into chat. I'm happy to answer questions. In fact, a lot of times it goes a lot better and it's a lot more interesting when you ask questions and we can just help each other out. But we will get rocking and rolling here. All right. So let's see here. So the problem that we're talking about today, just going back, we're talking about your website, and we want to address a problem. If there's no problem, then there's no reason to even be here and talk. But the issue is you guys have spent a good bit of money on marketing, or you've invested some in marketing, and you want to convert as many of those leads that are making it to your website into actual clients or actual customers, or turning those into jobs. And so what happens is, the problem is a lot of times is that we have got these websites that you're getting traffic, and here we're kind of assuming that you're getting some traffic, by the way. If you're not getting any traffic to your website, then that's another webinar. We need to talk about search engine optimization for you, or we need to talk about some Google ads and getting you some attention. So we're going to assume here that your website is getting some traffic. And by the way, let me back up 1 second here. I see a lot of new names. I see a lot of names I recognize, but I see some people that I don't recognize. So I just want to reintroduce myself real quick. I'm John O'Long. I'm the owner of Social Sphere Media, and we help small business owners get their online marketing right and grow their business. So our core services are building websites, search engine optimization, Google and Facebook ads, and social media. So I've been doing this since 2012. Since the fall of 2012. So I've got some experience. I've got a team now that helps me out. So we have had a good bit of success, and our clients are happy, and we've helped a lot of businesses grow. And so if you're wondering who I am and why you should listen to me, there's just a little bit about me. So anyway, back to this. We're assuming that you're getting some traffic, but a lot of them are not converting into leads, and they're not converting into customers, and you're spending this money on Facebook ads, and you're throwing some money at Google ads, or whatever it is you're doing, and there's just a low return on the investment. You feel like you're just kind of throwing it out there and hoping something sticks. And the thing is, and this is what I tell our clients, like, look, we've got to make sure that the website, when people get to your website, because the ads are going to send people to your website, the Facebook ads, the Facebook posts, the Google ads, whatever it is that we're throwing out there, the radio ads, whatever it is that you're doing, eventually they're making it back to your website. And then they get to your website and there's not a good strategy there. And so you're frustrated, and you're not generating enough leads for the investment, and your business is not growing, and that's just no good. And you feel like you're wasting a ton of money. And so we've got to get you to a point to where we are converting some of this traffic into leads and into customers. And like I said, if you're not getting any traffic on your website, then we really need to deal with that, because you got to get people coming to your website. And let me just throw this out there. Occasionally, when we build a website, I have people kind of freak out that they think their business is just going to explode because they've got a website. And I have to remind them that, look, there are billions of websites and billions of people searching those websites. So number one, people aren't just going to automatically flock to your website and just start throwing their money at you just because you have a website. It's kind of like your website. Imagine if your website's a brochure, and a good looking brochure, and it's printed, nice printed, glossy, but you got 10,000 of them printed, and it's like they're in a box in your office. If you just build a website, that's like having a box of big 10,000 brochures and plopping it down in your office. And occasionally somebody comes in and you hand them a brochure, but that's just not going to happen very often. And so then search engine optimization would be taking those brochures and placing them around town in strategic points where people might see your brochure and pick one up. And when they need your service, they call you. And then, advertising would be going and handing those out, paying someone to hand those out to everybody they pass on the street, which actually Google ads and Facebook ads are even better because we can target, we already know who might be interested. So we're not handing those brochures to everybody. We're only handing them to the people who are probably interested in your service. And so the thing is though, once those people have got the brochure better tell them what they need to do. Do they need to call you to schedule a free estimate? Do they need to fill out a form? What is the next step? What is their obvious next step that they need to do? The brochure's got to convert them and be compelling enough to turn them into a lead and to turn them into a client or a customer. And so your website has got to be optimized. And we're going to give you several things that you can do. And you probably don't need to go do all of them right now. In fact, we would hope that you'd pick one or two or three and go try to implement those, figure out what the most important one is that you can do. So we want to give you a couple examples here. Just real quick. Now I'm at home. I don't know who else is working from home, but so I want to go ahead and give a disclaimer that if Amazon makes a delivery, and Amazon probably will, because my wife orders something every day. I don't know if anybody else has that struggle at home. If it's just me, you guys pray for me if you're not dealing with that. But when Amazon comes, my dog our golden doodle will go crazy. Okay, so if you hear a dog going crazy, you know that Amazon is here. And so there's just a heads up. I don't want to look unprofessional, but there may be a dog in the background here. So surprise, I'm working from home. Anyway, so let's keep moving on here. So here's a good example. This is the Piedmont Roofing Company, and this is a website that we built. And when you get to the homepage there, you've got some video going in the background. Obviously, you can't see the video here, but it's pretty compelling. And up in the top right-hand corner, you've got the big old green phone number right there that you can call and click to call. But we've also got up there that you can call or text that number. We're going to talk about texting here. We'll come back to that in a minute because I don't see that option on nearly enough websites, on hardly any websites. And it really should be on every website if you want to reach anyone under 40. So one of the first things that you see is an option to schedule your free roof analysis today. And we're not asking for a million pieces of information. We just want to get your name, email, or phone number, or phone number. None of those fields are required. So you can just give the one that you're most comfortable with. Excuse me. And then if you look down at the bottom left, you've got another big call now button. So it's very obvious you've got several options here. And some of you guys are thinking, well, yeah, okay, I've got my phone number on there, I've got my form, but we want to get that front and center. And so this website right here, this is a great illustration of a website built to convert. It's very obvious what you need to do when you get there, and lots of options to call, lots of an option to text. And so it's really built to convert. Okay, so what we don't want to do is get to a website that just has a bunch of beautiful pictures, and you've got to scroll around trying to find out, like, okay, if I want to do business with these people, what do I do? And the only phone number is like down in the bottom in the footer, like really super tiny. Okay, so our idea here is to consistently convert visitors to callers and leads. Okay, and again, this is one part of the puzzle. Okay, because we want to be doing some advertising. Maybe you're doing local service ads with Google, or you're just doing the Google standard advertising. You've got search engine optimization going. Maybe you've got some media out there. You've got some print media. You've got some radio ads going. You've got you're publishing blog posts. You've got social media content out there, YouTube content out there, and all of that is working together to consistently convert visitors. All of that's working together to get people to your website and convert them into callers and into leads. And then hopefully you're good on the phone, or you're good on texting, and can and bring it home that way. And we'll talk about that in just a second. But the idea here is to get momentum and some consistent growth, get momentum in your business so that your business is growing consistently, that there is wind in the sails and the boat is moving. Or you could look at this little illustration here, or the picture in the background, as your business grows so that you can own a sailboat or a yacht because it grows that much. However you want to look at that. Okay, so success here, the idea here is that the phones are ringing, customers are converting, and business is booming. And so again, a lot of your phones may already be ringing. You're getting a lot of referrals. You may be in a business that's just blowing up right now. But I'm assuming if you're here, if you're on this webinar, you're listening to this podcast, that you're thinking that you want to grow your business online, and you want the phone to ring more, you want more jobs, you want more appointments, and you're trying to grow this thing online. And so that's what we want to help you do. Get your business booming. Remember, your website is the hub. A lot of people maybe in their mind it's just the website's just kind of a peripheral thing, and we need to have one to look legitimate. But we're not keeping it at the forefront of our mind. And so you haven't looked at your website in 9 months or a year. You've been on social media. You've been doing some things on social media. You've been throwing some stuff out there. You've been getting some Google reviews, which is all great. You need to do that. But your website, at some point, everyone's making it to your website. They may not start there. They may start at a Google ad or start at a Facebook post, but they're making it to your website at some point. And usually when we build a website, a lot of times what I spend some time doing is helping business owners shift their mindset about their website, and filter their decisions about the website and what they want in a website look at it through the filter of converting people to customers or growing the business versus what you think is pretty. Because a lot of times as a business owner, and I'm guilty of this, we come into it and we're thinking about pretty much building an art gallery about our business. And we're thinking, all right, I want to showcase this, I want to showcase that. And it does need to be personalized. Like, having a picture or video of you as the owner on the homepage is a good idea. That makes it authentic. And you're like, no, I don't want to be on video. I don't want my picture on there. But people want to see you. Maybe they don't want to see you all the time. And maybe you don't want to see my face on every single slide of this presentation, but too bad, you're gonna. But people do want to see you. They want to get to know you. They want to know that you're like a real person, that you're authentic, and that you're not just some face out there. Okay. And so what we have to do is help people think through, is my website going to convert people and make me some money? A lot of times it seems like some of our clients, it's almost like when you think about your website and the finished product, you think about yourself in a room full of your competitors, your peers who are in the same business as you, and you guys are all showing your websites to each other, and you want yours to beat out all of your competitors' websites in beauty. And it seems like sometimes we're only thinking about our competitors seeing our website, and we just want to wow people and impress them. And so we want a bunch of moving stuff and floating stuff, and we just want it to be beautiful, and we're building this art gallery to us. But when it comes to people coming on board with you, or buying your product, or signing up for your service, or calling you, it's not always about what is pretty. And yeah, we want a good looking website. I'm not saying we want to build ugly websites. We want a good looking, impressive, wow inducing website. But we've also got to think about conversion. And so A big, huge form is not always the prettiest thing that you could do. A big, huge phone number in the top right-hand corner is not always the prettiest thing. But if you want people to call you, the phone number better be obvious. So we're not just building an art gallery about your business here. We're trying to grow your business and make it easy for people to use. All right. So here we go. Let's keep moving here. Why is conversion so important? Let me give you a couple of scenarios. Okay. Look at scenario one. You've got 1,500. Let's say you've got 1,500 visitors per month to your website. That's not huge traffic, but it's also that's not no traffic. There's a double negative. So that's a decent amount of traffic for a small business. Okay, but let's just say you've got 1,500 visitors per month. And in most industry, this varies from industry to industry, but let's just kind of a median range of conversion would be 5% of the people that make it to the website actually call or fill out a form or do something to get in touch with you. So let's take that. That's 75 calls, 75 leads out of those 1,500 visitors. And let's say your conversion rate on the phone, you're good on the phone. And so you're getting about 30% of the calls that you get turned into jobs, maybe even more, but we'll be conservative here and say 30%. So that's leaving you with 22 booked jobs. Okay. And let's say that your average transaction is $450. For some of you, it's a whole lot more. I realize that your average ticket, depending on your industry, may be a whole lot more, but for this scenario, we're looking at over $10,000, $10,125. Now, let's take the same exact amount of traffic in scenario two. You're not paying a dime more for advertising. You're not starting a Google ad or another Facebook ad, but we're optimizing the website and getting your conversion rate up to 15%. So now you got 225 calls out of those 1,500 visitors, and you still got that 30% conversion rate. Let's leave it there, but we're looking at 67 book jobs now, $450 average transaction. So with just a 10%, with just an additional 10% increase in our conversion, we've gone to 30,150 revenue there. And so you're almost tripling the leads in revenue when we can take it from 5% conversion to 15% conversion. And that is good. And that is not that difficult if we just spend some time on our website. Now, real quick, some of the things we're talking about today, we did put together a PDF for you guys to download. So you can go to bit.ly/SSM-workbook. You can download that. I'll drop it in the chat there for us, so you can click on that link and go download that. So make sure you got that. But we're going to give you 12 critical elements to enhance the conversion rate. Okay. And I'm going to zoom through these, but we are giving you the workbook so you can look back at these. And we're going to go through these one by one and talk about them for a second. And so we've got several big things here, I think that would be good. We're going to talk about speaking to the avatar. What are their fears and frustrations? We'll talk about being real, using video, leveraging social proof, get your basics in order, ensure you've got clear calls to action, special offers. Number 8, make sure your website's mobile optimized, leverage chat, start giving clients the option to book online, make sure your website's fast, and then use texting. Okay, so we're going to go through each one of these one by one and talk about how we optimize for conversion, how we funnel these people down and get them to call. And so you got to ask yourself the question, is your website set up to convert visitors to callers? And so you need to spend some time, get your business partner, get your family, get somebody, get your spouse, look at your website, and you can compare it to this one and set them side by side and say, wow, okay, I think we need to change this. Go find a business go find your biggest competitor that you know is making money and put your website right next to theirs. And what are they doing different? Because we know that they're converting. So how can we get your website to convert like your biggest competitors? If you can see Joe Jones through Joe Jones's eyes, then you can sell what Joe Jones buys. And so we've got to look through the eyes of our customer, and sometimes we get so entrenched in our business that we forget what it's like to not be in this business, and we forget how to think. We forget how to think about people who aren't already customers. I was a pastor for 22 years, youth pastor for 22 years, and this is something that we always had to fight against in church world. Was when you're on church staff for a long time and you're at every church thing, you forget what it's like to be a new person at church. you forget what it's like to walk in and not know anyone, and how scary it is to, maybe you haven't been in church for 10 years. Now you're coming back, you're bringing your kids, whatever it is. And you've got, if you want to be a church that grows and reaches new people, then you've got to remember what it's like to be the person that hasn't been to church in a while, so that you can remember how scary it is and help make people feel welcome. And it's kind of the same thing in our businesses. We've got to remember what it's like not to be a customer, not to know the lingo, not to understand all the terms that we use. And especially computer guys are the worst. We talk to people and use all this nerd talk, and we think that everybody should understand it. And so we've got to look at it like our customers see it, and we've got to see their pains and frustrations. We've got to see their goals. We've got to look at their fears. What are they worried about? What are their dreams and aspirations? And so, who is your ideal customer? Got to think through that. What's their demographic? Is it a home? If you're home service, let's assume that you're a roofer and you're in home services. Okay, so you're a homeowner. You're probably 35 years old or so. Typically, it's the female calling. Occasionally, it's male. You're probably married with 2 to 3 kids. Maybe the head of the household. Probably over 65,000 in annual income. Maybe that's your ideal customer. Family oriented, but maybe this person's easily frustrated. They like to please people, but they expect the same in return. They're not handy, so they're not fixing stuff themselves. Maybe if you're an electrician or something, then you're going to be dealing with people like me who are not handy. We had a breaker go out on our hot tub a few days ago, which sounds very first world, like that sounds kind of snobby, but we had a breaker go out on our hot tub, and it was just the end of the world. But we had a breaker go out on the hot tub. I have 5 kids who really like the hot tub, and the electrician friend was like, "Oh yeah, you can just switch that out yourself." I'm like, no, I will definitely die if I try to switch that out myself. And so I'm going to pay an electrician to do that because I'm not handy now. But handymen laugh at me for not changing that out myself. But I'm the ideal customer for handymen. And I like gardening, and I don't really like crafting, but we live in the suburbs, take an interest in your community, pains and frustration. Maybe it's they can't get a contractor on the phone, or you can't get contractors to return their calls. And that's been my struggle a lot of times. I can't get people to call me back, or they're too busy for me. My job's not big enough, whatever. You're too busy to deal with me. So you think through their pains and frustrations and figure out who they really are. What are their fears? Their fears of being ripped off or overcharged because they don't understand. Like me, I don't understand how to put a roof on or how to fix electrical things. Okay. I can build websites and I can do search engine optimization, but I can't work on a car. And so we're all, I'm scared of getting ripped off by an auto mechanic. So when you find an auto mechanic that you trust, you stick with them forever, right? Same thing with an SEO guy, an online advertising guy like myself. That's why I really want people to trust me, because there's a lot of stuff that I do that, if you're in this business and you're shady, it's kind of like being a shady auto mechanic. And you could rip people off if you don't have any integrity. And so we want somebody with integrity. We don't want to pay too much for something that we could have gotten elsewhere. And I don't want a window of, our tech will be there between 8 a.m. and 7 p.m. So if you could just sit at home and wait on us all day, that would be wonderful. All right. And so the desire is to get the damage fixed, have this issue behind them, not deal with it, just get on with life and have fun and do their thing and have some peace of mind. All right. So the other thing that we want to think about, and I'm going to breeze through these because I don't want to keep you guys forever, but I don't want this to go on forever, but we want to think about messaging that works. And maybe some of your messaging needs retooling. Maybe you haven't thought through the messaging on your website. You just typed out some things. You got your tagline on there, and you said, yes, we are a family-owned business and we love serving our community and we're here and we've got integrity, blah, blah, blah. But you haven't really thought through that and thought through the pain points of your potential customers. And so maybe you need to some messaging about same-day service or straightforward pricing, upfront pricing. Maybe you want to throw in satisfaction guaranteed. A lot of people are scared of the word guaranteed, so a lot of people don't use it. But maybe that's something you want to consider. Trustworthy technicians or trusted technicians, experience. We want to know that people who are working on our house have some experience. And so we want to speak to the ideal customer. We want to be real and authentic. Get those pictures of your employees smiling like this one. Get pictures of your crews. Get pictures of the owners, and then leverage video and multimedia. Get videos on there. One of the greatest things you could do would be, a video of the owner. If you're decent on video, even if you're not decent on video, put a video of yourself on the homepage. Welcoming people to your website. Welcome them. Tell them about your business. Tell them the story of your business. Let them see that you, the owner, are a real person that cares about the business, and go with that. Leverage some social proof. Get reviews on your website. All right, get reviews on there. If you've got any badges, if you're a Better Business Bureau accredited business, Angie's List, you've anything that you've won some awards, get those on there, because the more reviews and the more social proof, the more prestige and accreditation, whatever it is, let's get that on the website. So some of you, maybe you're Better Business Bureau accredited and you just haven't put the badge on your website, or you won an award, you won your community newspapers best of 2021 electrician, and you haven't gone and put that award on your website. So get that social proof on there. Get the fundamentals right. It's extremely important that we make it easy for them to send us a message. We make it easy for them to call us. We offer some compassion. Get in touch. We're here to help. We want to help you. We're nice people. Offer some comfort, some empathy. Maybe you have an opportunity for them to download, like here, we've got download the free how-to guide on navigating the insurance process. So if you're a roofer, you're dealing with homeowners who are dealing with insurance companies, and they're not used to dealing with insurance companies. And so the Piedmont's made this guide to help homeowners navigate the insurance process, which is huge. And that's a nice lead magnet there. Use some special offers that match the service that they're interested in. So offer $50 off, put some coupons on your website, maybe, put $50 off, whatever it is, and have them print it out or have them mention it so that we know that you're getting those from the website. The next thing is you want to make sure that it's mobile friendly. I still see websites that are not mobile friendly. We still see websites, and the way you know it's not mobile friendly is when you go to it, it looks like the normal website just shrunk down and you can barely see it. And so you've got to like pinch and zoom, or it's just jumpy and it just doesn't look good on mobile. We're looking at billions of people owning cell phones. Most people, 3 out of 5 consumers are searching for local businesses on their smartphone. Okay. Google reports that 40% of mobile customers turned to a competitor site after a bad mobile web experience. And Google keeps pouring gasoline on that fire with their Core Vitals update this past month, or this past summer. It was all about mobile friendliness, site speed, making sure it's fast, because people are so impatient. If your website is not fast on a mobile device, then people are going to bounce. People are going to leave. And it needs to look good. It needs to be easy to call you on the mobile. It needs to be easy to leave a message. It needs to be easy to know that what they need to do next. And so that mobile, it's got to be mobile friendly. And then you really should consider live chat. Only about 5-10% of the visitors to your website take action. And so 90% are leaving without calling. And they're in the market for your service, or they're in your service area because they just hit your website. Okay. And so I think about like my wife, she is not a caller. She and I, we're 41, she's 40, or I'm 41, she's 40. And so we're right on that millennial line there. I don't mind making phone calls. I don't love it, but she hates making phone calls. And so if there are 2 identical businesses, you know what, you could have worse reviews than your competitor. But if you've got a texting option versus your competitor's only got the option to call, my wife is going to call, or is going to text or instant message the one that has that option every time, over the business that you can only call. And so I'm pushing my clients, any website we build, we want to get that phone number textable, get something set up, get some kind of system. Facebook will allow you to, they'll give you code to drop into your website where Facebook Messenger will be embedded in your website. And maybe you like that idea, maybe you don't. But when people go to your website, they're going to see Facebook Messenger in the bottom right-hand corner. And they're going to see their profile picture if they're already logged into Facebook. And so they can shoot you a message, and it's going to go directly into your Facebook business inbox. And so you've got the app, but you've got the Facebook app on your phone. And so you're not going to miss any of those messages. And it's really easy and it's free. You don't have to buy another tool. Live chat is proven to increase leads by an average of 35%. So can't stress enough how much you should consider including live chat, whether it is Facebook or another tool that you can buy. We have a tool called a client follow-up engine where we can embed that chat widget there, and it does a lot more, sends out review requests, but I promise this wouldn't be a sales pitch. So, but we do have an option there. There's hundreds of options out there. Okay. And most of them are affordable. So there's really no reason not to give one. If you want to increase your leads, then you should consider making, having the chat option or the text option. So some key ideas here: get some real authentic images of your team on the homepage and throughout the website. Get some videos on there, maybe a welcome video, videos for each of your services. You know, if words are worth, a picture is worth 1,000 words, a video is worth 1,000,000. Okay. So showcase those online reviews. Get those basics in order. Get that phone number in the right-hand corner. Ensure that there's a web form that they can fill out. Add some credibility with those badges, with those awards, with the BBB, Angie's List. Update your calls to action. So a lot of us just need to go through our website, pick one or two of these things that you can do, or that your web guy can do, and knock these out. Maybe add a coupon, a nice looking coupon. Don't make it look like cheesy. Add live chat to your website, or offer the clients the option to book online. So let me ask you again, is your website optimized for conversion? Really need to think that through and be honest with yourself. If you haven't looked at your website in a year, then there's a good chance it's not optimized for conversion. And so I want you to pick 3 of those things that we've talked about that you could implement now that will have a positive impact on your conversion rate. So what are you going to implement as a function of today's webinar? All right, which of those things are you going to maybe you need to add those images. Maybe the biggest thing that you could go do is add the live chat. Maybe the biggest thing that you could do is make your phone number more prominent, because the phone number is not obvious on your website. Maybe it's time to record that video, and you've probably been thinking about that. Yeah, we need an intro video on the homepage, but I don't want to do video. I don't like video, but I know I need to do it. You've been thinking about it. There's a really good chance that the thing you need to do has already been on your mind for 6 months, and you've just been putting it off and putting it off. I do the same thing. We all do that. But I hope to encourage you to go ahead and get that done, make it happen, and let's go through it. And so, really quick, just want to throw this out there: solving the biggest marketing challenge. We did a webinar a couple months ago, and we do a webinar once a month. So thanks for being here, and I hope you'll come back to our next one. But we're really just going through all of these things: social media, search engine optimization, PPC. This month we're talking about our website and really just dominating the online marketing space. But one of the biggest challenges is that a lot of these people are bouncing from your website and they're not converting, and you're getting the traffic, and maybe you've optimized your website for conversion now, but they're not being followed up with, and you're not following up, because leads that aren't followed up within 15 minutes go cold, and the average customer needs to be followed up about 5 to 7 times before booking. And so, and today's consumer prefers to interact via text message versus phone call or email. All right. And so we got a lot of people that, because you don't have time, because you're busy and you don't have time to follow up with everyone, that there's a lot of people that are not getting followed up with for hours, maybe days. And maybe your next big step is, the solution is to leverage some marketing automation to follow up with the web forms within the first 2 minutes of submission via phone, email, or text message. And so that you can automate the follow-up, so that every prospect is touched 5 or more times and able to engage in 2-way text messaging. All right. And so the idea here is to automate it, and that you go ahead, you write some pre-written messages that are warm and friendly and inviting, so that when they fill out that form, that in less than 5 minutes, they've got a text message from you or an email from you, preferably a text message saying, hey, thanks so much. How can we help you? And I mean, it's simple math. I'm going to save you this math here. But if you up your conversion rate, if you automate the follow-up, then you're going to book more jobs. And if you book more jobs, you're going to make more money. You're going to raise your revenue. Your business is going to grow. You make every lead that you generate more valuable. And so it'd be great to implement that in your business. And if there are, like I said, there's lots of options for that. We offer an option, like I said, called the client follow-up engine. But there are other options out there like Birdeye and Podium and that you can get a HubSpot or you can go to Salesforce, whatever. There's tons of options out there. And I want to encourage you just to do something. Now, if you do need help and you're thinking, hey, let's chat, I want to talk to you, shoot me a message. We can chat. I would love to have a free session with you. No pressure. I'm not a big sales guy. I don't like to pressure people. It's just not in my nature, but I do like helping with this stuff. So there's my phone number if you want to give me a call or shoot me a text, or you can go to that link there. We'll drop the link in the chat. If you want to schedule a session where we just look at all your stuff and see how we can help you, I would love to do that. But again, I appreciate you guys being here. And if we can help you in any way, we would love to do that. So schedule that session. But even if we don't ever hear from you again, hopefully the things that we've talked about today, that you're walking away with something that you can implement on your website to optimize it for conversions and see that conversion rate start going up, so that the amount of traffic that you're getting right now starts producing way more leads and helps you grow your business without spending another dime on advertising. So thanks so much for being here.